And looks like the London session might be getting started. Still another minute to go. Looking at the gold chart, gold trading at 42.44. And it's been bullish for the last hour and a half, 2 hours. We had a big move up this morning in the Asian market, then it fell back down, as it typically does. And now, since the European session opened, it's looking very bullish again. And this 2:45 candle, Indo-China time, 2:45 p.m. Indo-China, looks like it's going to close above my trend line there. And just touch on resistance at 42.47. Will it break above that? That's what I'm looking for. And already got a couple of people watching. If you can hear me okay, just type 1 in the chat box. I'd appreciate that. And it looks like it's going to do a pretty good break above the resistance there. So very keen to go ahead, and knowing that gold is bullish, I'd like to go ahead and get in early on this trade if I can. This trend line needs to be adjusted to my high there. And I know that if it breaks above that, I'm going to go long. And then my stop loss would be at about 42.23, 42.24. So about a 200 pip stop loss. And that's okay. But I want to see this candle do a little bit more. And it looks like it's got some bullish, got some oomph to it. And we've already been up to the high today was 42.56. Our next resistance level is 42.74. And with that break above the trend line, I'm gonna go long. I like the looks of that, and I'm gonna go right there. Went long just now at 42.47. I don't trade usually in the London session, but I didn't trade today in the Asian session. So I'm coming and having a look. And now, of course, after I took the trade, it's falling back down. So typical, so typical. 42.28, 42. Yeah, I think I'll put my stop loss at 42.24. Just go over and adjust that. Modify this. Stop loss at 42.24. 42.24. Okay, that's a reasonable stop loss. And what was my? I like to put the take profit next resistance level, which is 42.72. So I'll just go ahead and set that in there. 42.72. And that gives me a little bit more than 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Not ideal. I'd prefer 1-to-2, but I don't usually trade the London session, so it's kind of middle territory for me. We'll see how it goes here. Okay, now we're getting some. This is looking a little bit better, eh? And who got watching there? Greg Myers. Hey, Greg. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate you being here. So it just went along at 42.47, and I'll mark up my chart a little bit here. Put my stop loss at 42.24, 42.24, which is below my green line there. That's I call the safety line. If it breaks below that, I would start to get out, look to get out before it goes any further than that. That's my safety line, and it's broken above my action line, red, and my so that's my stop loss. Let me mark that up for you, and then my take profit is right there at the first resistance line. So a little bit more than 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So we'll just see how this plays out. I'll be here for about 45 minutes probably, unless it hits my take profit in the next 15 or 20 minutes. Then I'll just go ahead and close it out and just double check my entry. And that's on, yeah, good. Okay, my entry was 42.47. And that is, yeah, right where that yellow line is. That right on that support resistance level, that was my entry. Mark that up too. Okay, it's all done. That's my trade for the London session, my trade for the day. As you know, if you follow me, I don't trade the US session. Yeah, coming down a little bit. Let's see if it will break that resistance. Maybe not, because it couldn't break it here. It fell down below that, went back, tried right to that, couldn't go up, and then fell down. Might get the same thing here. Let's just see what happens. I'll go over and look at my 4-hour chart and see. First, I'll look at the 1-hour chart. Okay, now look at the 4-hour chart. Yeah, that's not looking so great. The stochastic is in the overbought area on all of the time frames, so could see a fall back here shortly. If it does, it does. Except on the 15-minute time frame. The stochastic is right now at, it's only at 80, so that can level out and stay up here for a while. Anybody else going long on gold in the London session? Got 3 people watching now. If you're watching, tell me where you're from, where you're based. I'm in Southeast Asia, so it's just going past 3 o'clock p.m. into China time. And the reason I've got my hand in front of my face is because I'm holding my microphone up because I'm in a coffee shop and I don't want to talk too loud. So I need to move my chart down a little bit. Okay, now getting a little bit. Now let's go. That's looking better. And the next trend line would be right this one right here. It breaks above that, and this trend line goes back to the all-time high of 43.80. So if it breaks above that, then I think we definitely will get up to that next resistance level at 42.74. So got a little bit of profit there, about 20 pips profit, and it's trying to move away from that support level there at 42.44. I think that's where it was. 42, 42.47. Trying to move away from that. Yeah. Go, man. Go. Look at that. It looks like it was a good move so far. So far. So far, so good. Oh, D. Tissera from New Zealand. So it would be your dinner time over there. Hey, Raj, you joined in. Cool. Good to see you. I've already gotten the chart marked up. As you can see there, I took the entry right on the first couple of minutes of the opening of the London session. And it's now moving in the right direction. Got it all set up. You see my entry, my take profit, my stop loss. This is my strategy, but I don't usually trade very often in the London session. My bread and butter is the Asian session, as you know if you follow me. But due to some personal issues, slight personal issues, nothing dramatic, I was not here in the Asian session today on Monday. And that would have been a little bit tricky. Looking back at the chart, that was a little bit tricky. At 8 o'clock, it started down. That's my beginning time, 8 o'clock a.m. It started down. It was a fake out. And then at 8:15 on the next candle, it went bullish. And then it was a good bullish run for three candles, 45 minutes. It was a good bullish run. So that one would have been a little bit tricky this morning. I just looked back at that briefly. But gold is bullish. The bias is bullish, long-term bullish, day chart and 4-hour chart. And we just closed November. That's 4 months in a row. Bullish close and increase in the price in the last 4 months. 4 months of green candles. If you look on the monthly chart, 4 candles. So that's what November, October, September, and August. 4 months of green candles. So when something is bullish, you look for an opportunity to buy. I really don't like to take counter trend trades. Don't say I never take counter trend trades, but I prefer not to because you don't know how long the counter move will last. If the overall move is bullish, I look for an opportunity to buy. Raj, you missed the entry in the morning and just got a second leg back to session highs and beyond. Yeah, yeah. It what didn't last very long. 45 was all that lasted this morning. At least that's my uh, review when I look back at it. Yeah. Over here, that 8 o'clock candle came down, faked everybody out. What do they call that? A liquidity grab. Knock out all the stop losses and then started. And then the 8:15 candle was very bullish. The 8:30 candle, another green candle, and then the 8:45 candle was a big one. And then that's all she wrote. And then it did what I see, and I've told you guys happens on a fairly regular basis, exactly 1 hour after the Asian Open at 9 a.m. It does a 180-degree turn and goes the opposite direction. And that's exactly what happened this morning. So you're going to be careful after 1 hour at that 9 a.m. Indochina time. You got to be careful when it's getting close to that. Always. Sometimes it will go on and then set the trend for the day. But I've seen it fairly regularly at 9 a.m., 1 hour after the opening. Boom. A complete 180-degree reversal. And that's what happened today. So close that first 15-minute candle is bullish. And now the second 15-minute candle is looking bullish. So this is working out great. Love it. I think the London session is pretty reliable, actually. It's just that I've already done what I want to do in the morning in the Asian session. I'm really happy with it. It's very reliable, it's consistent, and I'm always, 90% profitable trades in the Asian session. And so London, I sometimes look at it, sometimes don't. But I know that they can push it. Like it looks like it might go on up to at least to the next trend line, and maybe on up to the TP. But I never trade the U.S. session. I don't like that U.S. session. Red, green, red, green, red, green. It's just so volatile all over the place. Okay, guys, I'm going to just switch over and look at the calendar, forexfactory.com. And let's see, can you see that on my chart? No. Okay, now you can. Yeah. And we only have one item today. That's on it's a manufacturing data coming out at 10 p.m. Indochina time in Southeast Asia. You guys in New Zealand, you'll already be in bed, I guess. And don't worry about the news. I don't worry about it. I don't trade the news, but it's just prudent to be aware of what news we have coming out. And in fact, let's go ahead and let me go to the weekly view. Let's see what's coming up for the week. And it's a little bit on nothing on Tuesday, tomorrow. Then the switch, a couple items on the U.S. economy. Oh, the ADP non-farm is on Wednesday. Okay. And Thursday is the usual. Every Thursday, the unemployment claims on the U.S. And then Friday, some consumer sentiment, price index, inflation information on Friday. So not too much news coming out this week, a little bit. Just be aware of that, forexfactory.com. Check for your local times. And go back to the gold chart. Okay. It's still going up. Yeah, baby. That was a good trade today. Oh, you live in London, Greg. Okay, cool. Super cool. So yeah, it was. You got to get up early in the morning. Well, not too early, because I guess the London session probably opens at 9 a.m. local time in London, maybe. So yeah, the trading time definitely suits you. You can, of course, also trade the U.S. market. The, the Asian session would be too early for you. So looks like we got it definitely going up in price. So the only real question is it going to break this next trend line and continue up, which it stopped there earlier at 42.56 was the high. But we're now at 42.53. So they've got enough momentum to keep going past that and then go up to my take profit at 42.74. I think it will. I think it will. Oh, we got 6 people watching now. Hey, cool. Thank you guys for joining in. I really appreciate it. Raj, don't be negative. Be positive. We're going to crash through that next trend line. Yeah, but you are correct. We would have a double top, at least on the day. Today, it would be a double top. Yeah. And don't hope. Hope is an emotion. Just trust your strategy. So if it breaks above that red trend line, that would be about 42.56, 42.47, almost 100 pips. So once it starts moving above that, then I'll look at moving my stop loss here, move that above break even, just slightly above break even. I don't want to move it too soon because gold can easily come back and take it out. If it comes back 50, 60 pips, no problem for gold. That's easy. So I like to let it get as far away as it can, 100 pips plus, before I consider to move the stop loss above break even. Yeah, you gotta, whatever strategy you're using, you just gotta trust it. Just take the trade and trust the strategy. Nobody wins every trade. Nobody wins every trade. If somebody tells you they win every trade, well, run away because they're lying. There will be losses. If you have a good strategy, trust it. Accept that there will be losses sometimes, but most of the time you're going to win. And that's how I feel about this strategy that you guys see. I'm using this trend line strategy that I've explained and described to you several times. Um, I've used this for this entire year of 2025, nothing else on the chart. And it just works. It works. It's great. I love it. And I've used quite a few different strategies, over the last 10 years. Indicators all over the chart sometimes. But this is a simple strategy, easy to understand. It's not rocket science. It either breaks the line or it doesn't. And this is the 15-minute chart. If I haven't mentioned that already, I trade on the 15-minute chart. Next year, I'm looking at moving to the 1 hour chart, which means I would take fewer trades. I might only take a trade every couple of days or every 2 or 3 days. And then eventually I'd like to move up to the 4 hour chart. where I might only take one or two trades in a month and look at more, more swing trading type action. But right now, I really enjoy this 15-minute chart. I take maybe two trades a day. It's not stressful at all, and I make good income, good profit. Did I see silver? I read somewhere that it reached a new all-time high. I don't trade silver. I traded silver a few years ago. It was very, very volatile. I didn't like it. But no, I don't trade silver. I think I read a couple of days ago or on the weekend, maybe. I don't remember. It's recently reached an all-time high. I don't think I even have it on my chart. I don't. I told you guys I'm looking at trading a new instrument next year. I'm going to add one. I've only traded gold this year, so I'm looking at either platinum or crude oil, one or the other. Probably platinum. Probably go with that because that's what Tori trades, and she said really, really good success with it. She says it trends very well. It respects the trend line. She's had great success with platinum. So I'll probably look at adding that. So I'll be trading two instruments next year. And I already have that one on my chart, so I'm starting to watch it. Yeah, New Zealand. That's a good point, Raj, that you brought out. Um, New Zealand, U.S. is still climbing since the rate decision. That is one news item that has usually a long-term impact on the movement of currencies and commodities, whatever it's related to. Um, most of the news items that come out, they're knee jerk, and you'll get maybe a couple of hours reaction, or not, maybe not even that, and then it goes back to what it was doing, back to the same old price. But when there's an interest rate decision, that will usually affect the movement of that currency for the entire day, and even several days or several weeks, because that is a big decision when the central bank adjusts the interest rate, either lower or higher. It's because of a lot of economic factors involved in that decision. And so it's a very big and important and very impactful news item that you should definitely be aware of. Interest rate decisions. I haven't looked at the New Zealand US since that came out because I don't trade currencies. I'm not surprised that you said that. PL ticker. Are you asking me what symbol is platinum? On the Forex charts, it's XLP, I believe. Because you trade futures, don't you, Raj? That's why you're asking that? Mm-mm. Coming back down a little bit now, close to half past the hour. Mm. It does that, sometimes. I'm going to give it time for that moving average to come up and get closer to it, and then it will continue its move up towards my take profit. Okay. In fact, Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off here. Been here 30 minutes for the London session, which I don't usually participate in, but I got a good profitable trade out of it anyway. And I will definitely see you tomorrow, Asian session at 8 a.m. Southeast Asia time, 8 a.m. Indochina time. And be sure you like and share the video. Let's see if we can get as many people in this for the next 2 or 3 weeks as we can before the year finishes out. And then next year, just going to be great. Get a lot of people asking for live trading. So I'm anticipating a really, really good turnout. And next year should be fantastic. This is just kind of getting things going. This is probably the second week I've been doing this. I finally got started on a regular routine because people are asking for it. And I'm enjoying it as well. Um, so just be sure and like and share. And any comments or questions, of course, you can contact me at Telegram at RickReadyFX, as Raj has already done today. And I'll always get back to you. That's my main messaging service is Telegram. Okay, thanks, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow.